Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley with Posh DIY Crochet Patterns. Today's tutorial, we will be learning how to make this beautiful petal stitch baby blanket with the dandelion stitch at the corners. It's a very beautiful, beautiful lacy baby blanket. The yarn I will be using for this baby blanket is Caron Colorama Halo in the color Lavender Frost and Rose Frost. For this tutorial, we will be using 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. We will need scissors and a darning needle to weave in our ends. This baby blanket will measure 36 inches wide by 33 inches tall. For this baby blanket, I used one whole skein of Caron Colorama Halo, perfect phasing in the color Lavender Frost, and then I used half of a skein of another roll of Caron Colorama Halo in Rose Frost for a total of 720 yards. And this yarn is a bulky 5 yarn. In this tutorial, we will be using chains, we will be using slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, treble. Hi everyone, my name is Ashley with Posh DIY Crochet Patterns, and before we begin our tutorial, I wanted to go over our pattern really quickly. This is our main pattern for our blanket. This is the petal stitch pattern. This pattern is made up of single crochets and chains, single crochets, and then the next row will be trebles, chains, and then we will single crochet, chain, and then 3 trebles. We will repeat a 4-row repeat continuously until we reach the length of our blanket. Rows 3 and row 5 are the same pattern. Rows 3 are the single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Rows 4 and row 6 are practically the same pattern. Rows 4 and row 6, we will either start with the 3 trebles, chains, then single crochet, chains, then 3 trebles, or we will begin with a single crochet, chains, and then 3 trebles. So you will basically, every other row, you will repeat the same thing. Isn't this a pretty pattern? If you would like to make a blanket that is an easy repeat, and you want it to be different and better than just basic single crochets or half double crochets or double crochets, this is definitely the blanket for you. We will need to make a slip knot. Our pattern multiple for the petal stitch is 8 plus 1. We will need to add an extra chain to the end of our foundation chain for an 8 plus 1 plus 1. For this baby blanket for 36 inches across, we will need to chain 152 plus 1 plus 1. I have 154 chains. What we will do, we will make one single crochet in each chain all the way across. So starting with the second chain from our hook, I'm going to go into the back bump and make one single crochet. I'm going to continue with one single crochet in the back bump of each chain. I finished row 1. I'm going to use my row counter here. So for row 2, we will chain 1 and turn. In our first chain here, we will make one single crochet, chain 2, skip 3. In the fourth chain here, we will make 3 trebles. Chain 2, skip 3. In the fourth chain, make one single crochet. And this is our repeat for row 2. So we made our single crochet, chain 2, skip 3, 3 trebles in the fourth chain. Chain 2, skip 3, in that fourth chain, one single crochet. Go ahead and repeat this pattern all the way across until the end, and I will meet you back then. After you make your last 3 trebles, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 chains left. Chain 2, skip 3, and in that very last single crochet, you will make one single crochet. That very last chain. And then I will mark my row counter. So I finished row 2. For row 3, we will chain 1 and turn our work. In the same chain here, we will make one single crochet. This time we will chain 3. We will skip the 2 chains and 1 treble, and in this 3rd treble on the very top chain of that that 2nd treble, so you will skip 2 chains and you'll skip 1 treble, and in the middle, that 2nd treble, you will make 1 single crochet. Chain 3. You will skip 1 treble and 2 chains, and on top of this very first single crochet, we will make 1 single crochet on top of the single crochet. And this will be our repeat. So we will single crochet, chain 3, we will skip over, and in this 2nd treble, make 1 single crochet. Chain 3, make 1 single crochet in that next single crochet. Chain 3. On that 2nd treble, make 1 single crochet. So that is our repeat for row 3. Go ahead and finish up this row, and I will meet you back at the end. At the end of row 3, you'll make that single crochet in that middle treble. You will chain 3, and in that last single crochet at the end, you will make 1 single crochet. Pattern is looking really good so far. So we just finished row 3. For row 4, we will chain 4 and turn. Our chain 4 does count as our first treble. In this same chain here, the single crochet, we need a total of 3 trebles. Our chain 4 counts as our first treble, so now we need to place 2 more trebles into this single crochet. We will now chain 2. We will skip over our chains and we will make 1 single crochet on top of this single crochet. Chain 2. In this next single crochet, we will make 3 trebles. And that will be our pattern repeat. So after here, we will chain 2. On top of this next single crochet, we will make 1 single crochet. Chain 2, prepare for a treble, and on top of this single crochet, we will make 3 trebles. So we just finished our 3 trebles. We need to chain 2 and skip that chain 3. Let's see, we have just 1 single crochet, so now we need to make another single crochet. Chain 2, so now we need 3 trebles. Chain 2, skip 3 chains, 1 single crochet. Isn't that looking pretty? So go ahead and continue your pattern all the way across, and I will meet you back at the end. At the end of row 4, after you make your last single crochet, you will chain 2, and we will basically mirror exactly what we did in the beginning of row 4. So right here in this last chain, this last single crochet, we will make 3 trebles. So we completed 4 rows so far. For row 5, we will chain 1 and we will turn our work. We will be repeating row 3, so we will make single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet in that second treble. So in the same chain here, single crochet, chain 3, skip over, single crochet into your first single crochet, chain 3, skip over till your second treble, single crochet in the top of that second treble, chain 3, skip over and single crochet in your single crochet. Continue on until you finish your last single crochet. I'm at the end of row 5 here, and this chain 4 is considered our first treble. So what we will do is we will single crochet at the top of that chain 4 here. So we've completed row 5. So for row 6 is the last row of our 4-row repeat. Our 4-row repeat will be rows 3 through row 6. We will chain 1 and we will turn our work. In our first chain here, this single crochet, we will make another single crochet on top of the single crochet, chain 2, and on top of that single crochet, we will make 3 trebles. Chain 2. Right here, we only have 1 single crochet, so we need to make another single crochet, stacking the single crochet on top of the single crochet, chain 2. So we will need to place 3 trebles on top of that single crochet. And this definitely makes a beautiful, lacy, beautiful baby blanket. So we have this beautiful pattern so far. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Go ahead and finish up your row 6 and I will meet you back at the end. Also, I just wanted to jump in and say, if you are having a hard time gripping your yarn to make tight stitches, using lotion does help. That is what I do. I will rub some lotion in between the 2 fingers that I use my working yarn in, and that definitely helps me. That way I can grip that yarn tight when I make those trebles. And as you see, I can make real tight stitches if I want. It definitely helps me. So I have really good grip on this yarn. I can make those 3 trebles. I can make them pretty tightly now. If I'd like to make them tight. Perfect. I just wanted to show you all that little trick that helps me along the way for my crochet projects. And I will meet you back at the end of this row. At the end here, we will single crochet in that last chain in that single crochet. And now we will repeat rows 3 through row 6. So for row 3, we chained 1 and turn, and this is the row that you will make single crochet, chains, and then single crochet into that second treble, and then you'll chain and single crochet in the single crochet. So go ahead and repeat rows 3 through row 6. Continue rows 3 through row 6 over and over and over until row 73, or until you make it as long as you would like, or until you run out of yarn. So go ahead and finish up your blanket. I will check back in with you later. And then at the end, we will single crochet around our blanket, and we will create a really nice, fun sensory blanket, so to speak. So it'll have really nice things for the baby to play with at each corner. So yeah, so go ahead and finish up, and I will meet you back then. Also, another helpful tip: once you start repeating your 4-row repeat, if you need help to figure out how many rows you've completed, right here where I have my stitch marker, that is row 6. So right here and on is the 4-row repeat. And what I wanted to show you was in between each petal, so I will call these 3 trebles a petal. In between each petal are 3 stacked single crochets. So from here to this petal, so it's 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then a petal, the 3 trebles. So from here to here is 4 rows. So that is a good way for you to count your blanket, and I will show you with the actual blanket now. So here, if you look, we have our 3 trebles, 3 trebles, 3 trebles, and 3 trebles. So from this 3 trebles to this 3 trebles are the 3 single crochets stacked on top of one another. So from this 3 trebles to here is 4 rows. From this 3 trebles to here is 4 rows, and so on. So 4 rows and 4 rows. And that is a good way to help you to count your rows for your baby blanket. So right here, I wanted to show you the best way that I learned how to hide my yarn in. So right here is where I had to add another roll of yarn. And this is one of my yarn tails. So my other yarn tail, I already weaved in and out all the way to here, and you cannot tell that I weaved in that yarn in. So I just want to show you all and give you all a helpful tips here on how to hide that yarn tail once you rejoin another roll of yarn. So here I will be using Hello Hobby doll needles. It has a nice sharp tip here, which helps to get in and out of those really small stitches. I really like using this yarn needle instead of one of those big bulky ones. So I have just a little wire that I folded in half and twisted at the end. Then we'll just insert that yarn tail through that wire. Insert through the eye of the doll needle or the darning needle. And what I will do is you will see your stitches, like your single crochet and your chains. What I am going to do is I'm just going to go in and out, and I'm not going to pull tight, just loosely. I'm going to go in through the actual chain. So each chain, I will go through, I'll go through the next chain, through the next chain. I'm going to go through the middle of these 3 trebles here. I'm not going to pull real tight, just kind of loosely, but snug. Now I will go through each of those 3 chains there. And I'm just going to do this as far over as I can. So I'll just continue to keep going in and out of the chains, the single crochet, through these chains. Just like that. So we crocheted all the way until we completed row 73. So row 73, I have the single crochet, the chains, then the 3 trebles, chains, and single crochet. We will chain 1, and I believe I already chained 1 and turned. So I already chained 1 and turned, and I will go into that same chain there and make 1 single crochet. And what we will do, we are going to single crochet all the way across the top of our blanket. So right here we have 2 chains, so we will make 2 single crochets, and now we have our 3 trebles. I will go into the chain of each of those 3 trebles and just make 1 single crochet. We have 2 chains, so I'll go into the inside and around those 2 chains and make 2 single crochets. I have 1 single crochet here, so I will go into that single crochet chain and make 1 single crochet. I'm just going to repeat this. So 2 chains, 2 single crochets, 3 trebles. I will go into each treble with 1 single crochet in each treble. We will just repeat this all the way until the end of this row, and this is row 74. And I definitely wanted to say that I definitely recommend using this yarn for your baby blanket. This yarn is so soft. It is so soft and lightweight. It is perfect, absolutely perfect for a baby blanket. And you can see just how pretty this petal stitch is with this yarn. Very pretty. And here's a look at our blanket before the border. And as you see, this is really, really nice. Even the edges look really, really good. You do not have to add a border to the sides if you do not want to, but just for fun and just to make a nice, cute little border, I designed a pattern to teach on this blanket. Make your last single crochet and you're at your corner. We are going to make the dandelion flower stitch in each corner. So I will yarn over. I will go into that same chain and make a half double crochet. We will chain 20. I will pinch right here. I will go down and we are going to slip stitch into the back loop of that half double crochet. So I'm going to go into that back loop and slip stitch. I will repeat this 4 more times, and you can add more if you would like. I will yarn over, go back into that same chain, and make a half double crochet. Chain 20. And I will pinch. Now we'll go down and go into that back loop of that half double crochet and slip stitch. And I'll just fold it over and repeat. Yarn over, go into that same corner and make a half double crochet. Chain 20, pinch, go into the back loop, that half double crochet and slip stitch. So I have 3 so far. And for my blanket, I would like to make 5 sets. I have 1 more set. And that is what our dandelion corner looks like. And now I'm looking at the side of my blanket. And as you can see these holes here from our stitches, from our rows. So we have 1, 2, and then right here we have a treble. We will go into that next stitch for that row and make 1 single crochet. We'll go into this next stitch here and make 1 single crochet. And I know our chain 4 counts as a treble, or our treble counts as a chain 4, but in the treble and chain 4, we will only make 3 single crochets. So I will go inside and around that treble and make 3 single crochets. And in between each treble and chain 4, we should have 1, 2, 3 single crochets. So remember, there was 3 single crochets in between each petal for each set of trebles. So we will go into the next, what looks like a stitch from a single crochet row, and make a single crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. We will ignore this little loop here. And now we are at our chain 4 treble. And we will make 3 single crochets in and around that chain 4 or that treble. And in between each chain 4 and treble, we will make 3 single crochets. Three single crochets in and around that chain 4 or the treble. And we are just going to repeat this border all the way down until we reach our next corner. When you reach your next corner, you will see that last single crochet here, and then you'll see this right here, your slip knot where you first began your first stitch. We are going to create our dandelion right in the stitch where I'm at. And that is because that hole is big enough to fit. This stitch right here doesn't seem like it would be a good choice to put that corner. So right here, I'm just going to begin that half double crochet. Chain 20. Here's that back loop of that half double crochet. And I will slip stitch. And I will just hold that over, go back into that same stitch, and begin that next set. So half double crochet, chain 20. and I will be making 5 sets. After you make your last dandelion stitch, if you look here, this is actually our very first row. And because I made my stitches in the back bump of each chain, it helped to create chains along the bottom ridge here. So what I will do is I will squeeze my hook into each of those chains that I created on that very first row. And I will just single crochet across in each of those chains. And I will do this all the way until the very last chain, till I reach my next corner. And in that very next corner, I will repeat the 5 sets of the half double crochet, chain 20, slip stitch into the back loop of your half double crochet, and that is the dandelion stitch, so I will repeat that in my next corner once I finish single crocheting on this bottom of this blanket. And that is how you do the border for your blanket. And isn't that a cute little decoration crocheted at the corner of a little baby blanket? Or for a little girl, for a toddler, or a teenager. Either way, it looks really nice. So go ahead and continue single crocheting all the way until the next corner. And in that corner, you will make another dandelion flower stitch. and you will follow the instructions the same as we did along the side. 3 single crochets in between each chain 4 and treble, and in each chain 4 and treble you will make 3 single crochets, and you will just continue on until you are finished. Once you make your way around all 4 corners and you make your last dandelion stitch in your last corner, what we will do is we will slip stitch right into that very next chain. And then our blanket is finished. We will clip our yarn and weave in our yarn ends. And we will do this right here and at the beginning as well. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you love your baby blanket. This baby blanket would be great for a little girl, for a toddler. You can make this for a little boy in different colors, different types of yarn, bulky yarn, an acrylic yarn, a cotton yarn. There's so many different ways that you can make this baby blanket. So I'm just going to go into this loop here. And this would look so pretty in blues for a baby boy, or yellows and green for neutral. If you don't know what type of gender the baby would be, you can always make it in white. There's so many different options that you have. So I'm just going to go back in from behind in that same chain there. And that kind of pulls that little knot through. And I'm going to work my way through this dandelion stitch here. So I'm just going to go through all these half double crochets. And I can work my way through here or down the edge here through these single crochets. And I think I will go through these single crochets. However you want to do it yourself. And I will turn and I will work my way back. That way it doesn't come undone very easily. So I'm going back in the opposite direction, going back in the direction I came from. I will just give it like a nice little tug, and then I will clip. And now you have a beautiful, beautiful flower petal stitch blanket. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please join me again for another tutorial. Hit that like button, comment below, let me know how much you like the blanket. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.